32.
Oh, you should want 32 and 7
Yeah.
first. Okay.
As usual, read that first actually.
Oh, before you... All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
And it reads, remember, and I want to repeat, remember the days of old.
A lot of our people have forgotten the days of old. They've forgotten what happened to us in our they've forgotten to us what happened to our people back in the previous days, previous years. That's why it says, remember the days of...
I haven't lost it.
Yeah, continue reading that.
Okay, and it reads, Deuteronomy, I'll take it from the top, Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old.
Now, back in the days of old, what were they doing? They were trying to kill off our people. And there's some people over there, some local Edomites with a sign at the side of their board about free abortion. Free abortion.
You know what you see?
They're giving away free abortion.
Just angle the camera so
Yeah, angle the camera so let them see over there. If you move it just so they can see.
that, man.
Yeah.
And that's what these people are doing in our neighborhood. Obviously, Brixton are being gentrified, but the spirit is still Jake.
Oh, he's hiding
But when I look around, all I see is Jake. All right, Jake come and doing shopping here. They come and buy stuff.
He's standing in front of it.
All right. And that's the reason why these demons
He's standing in front of it.
all right, about free abortion.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Hold on.
All right, can someone get the part in the Bible where it speaks of kill all the Egyptian male. Abadiah.
Yeah, go on.
Abadiah.
Yo.
You know that precept about when they say kill all the people Israelite
I
male.
think it's Exodus 1, I think.
Let's find it. I can find it.
For free abortion on demand. You see it? Women's liberation through socialist revolution.
I don't want you to take my picture.
But hey, what? Tell them up there, sir, on the camera. Yeah. For free abortion. This is what they're dealing with in our neighborhood.
You ain't doing nothing.
Come on. The Bible says let the aged men to keep wisdom, man.
You should have wisdom at your age.
But that's the thing, man. That's the reason why Ezekiel 9 and 6.
Wisdom at your age.
You know, you will look at all the ancient,
I have a precept for it.
all the ancient of our house lack wisdom.
I have a precept for it. This is the book
You know
of
what I mean?
Exodus, chapter 11, verse
Can you find
7.
it?
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord doth put a difference between us.
Can you read Ezekiel 9 and 6 quickly? I need to say something about the elder. Let that be an edification for the house of Israel, man. As far as our elderly, they go off, man. The Most High took the lamp from them. But they're supposed to have the lamp so they can guide the new generation.
9 and 6.
All right? Yeah, read it.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 6.
Yeah.
Slay utterly, and young, both maids and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
All right, read that last part again. Read that last
the house here, the Bayaf Shal Dawada.
Read that last part. But that house here, talking about Israel.
Verse 7, that's right. And he said unto them,
No. The last part.
Then they began at the ancient men, which were
the ancient men is talking about the elders, the older men.
Which were before the house.
That's the reason why he took the lamp. Have you noticed all these elderly, they don't have wisdom. All they do is stay at the bookies or sit there and play checkers or whatever, a domino, and drink Guinness. Because the lamp was taken away from them. They don't have the lamp. That's when you don't have the lamp, what happened? If you walk in the dark alley and you don't have the light or the torch, what happened? You're in darkness. So anything can hit you, you can fall in the ditch. And that's the most I did that so they can all die.
That's right.
And that was an example of what you saw. come and tell them you're not doing nothing. We're trying to build Israel, but you got an ancient of our house that trying to come in and put sand on our food. All right?
Yeah, you got it.
So let's read the account about
Right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7.
Oh, can I just say through the Spirit? The same ancient, why did he not go to those abortion clinics and tell them that they're not doing that?
But that's what I told you, he doesn't have the length. When you have the land, you can see things and know when things are
You'll be
wrong.
able to discern.
He doesn't have the land, so therefore he's in total, darkness. But yet he will come and see land, but he want to break it. He don't want it. He want to stop it from
want other
shining.
people to see. He can't see, but he doesn't want anybody else to see.
So it's only right the Most High Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai destroy them, man, because they're enemy to this truth.
That's right.
They're enemy of this truth, man. Bring it on.
Yeah, this is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7.
Yeah.
And it reads, remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations.
Right.
Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they shall tell thee.
Now, some of our elders, we can't ask them nothing. As the brother just explained,
right.
some of our elders just need to be put down. But the elders that he's speaking about is those in the scriptures that are
Well, the
righteous
elders, us.
foreparents.
We're the elders, man.
Elders in the truth.
Those of old. Our foreparents who showed us what happened, how to conduct ourselves back in the day.
Yeah, the word.
And when we look at what, you just saw it, the free abortion. Now look where they are. They're in a so-called black neighborhood, a poor neighborhood, trying to perpetrate the same thing that Margaret Sanger was perpetrating amongst our people.
That's right.
Why don't you go amongst their own people and perpetrate these things?
That's right.
That's why it says remember the days of old, because from back then they've been trying to kill us off, and they're still doing it now. And a lot of our people fail to realize these things. Yeah, now Exodus, this is something that happened in the days of old with one of these other nations, Babylon, part of that Egyptian spirit that these people are coming back with.
Actually the Babylonian spirit.
Yeah, Exodus 15.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 1.
Because the same thing they tried to do to our youngers back then, the same thing they're trying to do now. Yeah, and before our elders who's meant to be showing wisdom, go and speak out against these things.
Right.
Yeah, because they're trying to kill off your descendants.
That's right.
Yeah, it's the youth that's going to be defending you. You ain't going to be defending no youth in that day.
That's right.
Go on.
Yeah, this is the book of Exodus chapter 1 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
And it reads, and the king of Egypt
And the king of Egypt,
spake to the Hebrew midwives.
right, which is the same thing right now.
That's right.
All right? The king of Egypt is the system right now, because you remember, we live in the spiritual Egypt, man.
That's right.
Right, that's right.
Carry on now.
Yeah, midwives of which the name of one was Shipra,
Right, carry on.
and the name of the other Pearl.
Right?
Go on.
Verse 16, verse 16, and he said, when ye do the office of a midwife,
And when you working, when you're out there, giving allowing him, the Hebrew Israelite to give birth. Yeah?
He said, and he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women.
That's right, to the Hebrew. It's the Hebrew woman, man. And the Hebrew are the so-called blacks and the so-called Hispanic. All right, so nothing new under the sun.
Right, yeah.
And no, they didn't have PS5 back then.
And see them upon the stool.
Right.
The reason why it says upon the stool, because when they gave birth, they never used to lie down like how you see them in hospital today with their feet in those stirrups. They used to be stool sitting down, used to come out that way. That's why it says on the stool.
That's the right way.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, on the stool, if it be a son,
If it be a son,
then ye shall kill him.
all right, let's go to a Matthew.
Now, why they want to kill off the son?
You have something, let me.
Contrary to what we believe, where they make you think that we come from women, we actually come from man. You come from the seed of man. So if you cut off the men, then there's no more seed to reproduce. Yeah, they can produce without women, and produce more themselves. This is why they're putting up all these things in our communities, trying to kill off our people. But go to brother beat that and go further. I know we're going to continue this one down there. Now I want to do that, but I can see it continuing. So before we start, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Wahab, Rakah, Kadash.
Boom, Yashala!
God belongs to the elders and apostles in Israel who rule and teach well, to the Akims on the highways and byways, and those pushing this word in truth and sincerity, to the brothers and sisters in the truth. But yeah, back to what we're saying, the reason why they want to kill off the men, because it's the men that carry the seed.
That's right.
It's through the men we populate. And obviously you need the women, but it's the seed.
And also you got the Messiah.
That's right.
If you look at the Coentel Pro, they're talking about their whole agenda was to kill the black Messiah.
That's right.
Because unlike the other nation, Hebrew Israelite, the Hebrew Israelite nation, when it comes to the men, they actually have the ability to bring forth saviors.
Bring back the prophet.
All right.
Bring back the
because Joshua is Yahushai.
That's right.
Yahushai. Joshua was a savior.
That's right.
He saved. He allowed. He allowed Israel to get into the kingdom.
He redeemed the nation of Israel that were 20 and under to go over the River Jordan and go into the Promised Land.
Right. So that's the reason why. That's the deeper reason why they'll do that. Case in point, in that same time.
I swear these are the days of the moment.
In the right that time, that's when Mashah
That's
was
right.
born.
That's right.
You see, when these demons speak to these kings, because you see the demons just like these IHOP, they have demons speaking to them. So when I spoke to the king of Egypt, they told him, you better kill all the newborn that are being birthed in that season, because out of them, the guy called Mashah will come. And the same God will bring salvation to Israel. Same thing they're doing. They're so shook by past history. They're relentless when it comes to their effort.
That's right.
To always kill the child, the man-child of our nation. They don't want to take any chance, especially now that they know that we're about to come out now. We back into we got our mojo back, like they say. We got our swagger back now. Now we know that we're Hebrew Israelite.
This is
all right.
Yeah. So I don't know what the brother's saying. This is Psalm 64 and 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Says they search our iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
A diligent search, man.
So like how they're diligent in what they're doing. In this truth, you need to be just as diligent, man. Because the devil ain't letting up. Yeah, the same spirit that you see back then, that we had, the same spirit that we had in Egypt to kill off the firstborn, the same spirit that the brother's going to read there in Matthews to kill off the firstborn, it's the same spirit that comes back around. Yeah, in these people to kill off the firstborns.
And just like what the brother's saying, and how they're doing it now, back then they were more brazen, it was an order from the king.
That's right.
But now they can put it in vaccinations and stuff to make you sterile. That's another way.
That's what Bill Gates said.
That's another way of killing off your seed. Because if they make you sterile, you cannot produce seed in the first place.
Yeah, they went one step further into that. Instead of encouraging like the woman there, because at the end of the day, so like you bring it at the end of the day, right? They can't stop the fecundity. In French is fécond, like when a woman can give birth. Fertility. Yes, like they can't stop Israel fertility as far as a woman. Okay, a woman can be in the ends, but she's gonna have five picnic, easy.
In the pressure, we just seem to breed more.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. So they can't stop it. So what they're gonna do now? They say, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna bring the vaccination in that way, because the real reason why they broke forth the vaccination is death and to make us barren, to make our women barren, and to make our men not being able to have sperm that can bring forth men child. You know what I'm saying? And also, it goes both ways. They want to kill the girl. Why do they want to kill the girl? Because when the girl is born, she becomes a woman and she's gonna bring forth a man child. So if we don't want to take no chance, let's
remove all of them. Yeah.
All right.
That's correct.
That's why with Amalek, the Most High said, kill man and woman.
That's right.
Yeah?
Don't leave none of them.
So this Psalm 64:6 again says, they search our iniquities, they accomplish. So that means they succeed to some extent in what they're trying to do. It says a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, not some of them. Say every one of them, and the heart is deep. This is not like Esau. He planned shit for thousands and hundreds of years. Jake say, Jake plans for next week, maybe next month at the most, pushing a year. Esau goes for decades, centuries.
Saying that, I give you a story about the Rothschild. Do you know that when it comes to the business operation amongst them, they don't allow women?
No, they don't.
That's why I tell you, brothers, man, that's the wisdom that we need to get. They don't allow women, and that be going on for how long now?
Too long.
If they let women in the midst of that closed circuit, they will have been destroyed by now.
By now, yeah.
All right, so their heart is deep, but who gave them that heart? It's Yahweh, the same God who is building us up now. So we need to be deep in this truth. We need to be spiritual in this truth. That's the only way we're gonna conquer, man. Because they don't play, like the brother said, they don't sleep at night. Look what they're doing on the slide. They're gonna bring something like that. They gentrify the area as if it's not enough. Now they wanna destroy because they see Jake coming through. They wanna sow a seed now of destruction in our.
And Jake is so destroyed. Not one Jake is over there saying anything to them about it as well. You know what I'm saying? No one ain't saying nothing to them about it.
But hey, we the watchers, man.
We
the watchers, man.
Because
what's his name? That guy. What's his name? The guy that was putting hands on niggas for selling on Sabbath.
Nehemiah. Yeah.
Nehemiah was putting hands on niggas. Us, we don't put no hand, but we go our mouth, and our mouth is very sharp. And we're going to speak the truth, and we're going to expose, anyone that comes to destroy. Because we're the only one, we're the elders of our people, because the real elders are gone. They're on track, they're on weed, you know what I'm saying? They're in the bookies, they're gone.
And can I just add, I need to say this, can I just add, there's something disturbing when you have Edomites coming into an area that was predominantly a Jake area, pushing free abortion.
Yeah.
Then it's very
and no one ain't saying
disturbing.
nothing as well. That's the thing, no one ain't saying nothing.
But that's what I say, the head are destroyed. Our head is sick.
It's a headless chicken.
So we have to take that. It's a very hard responsibility to take. But hey, Joshua took it.
Joshua and Caleb.
But hey, they were young. How old were they when they took it? They were in the 20s when they took it, man.
They weren't in their 20s, but they were young.
But they were young. While it's 30.
Joshua was with Moses when he went up to Mount Sinai.
So in the 30, 40, 30, 40.
Yeah.
But hey,
We was a young man. We was a young man.
That's young. I'm 40, but I feel
Warrior's heart.
Yeah.
Warriors heart.
All right, so yeah, we have to take it. We have to take that thing now.
That's
and
right.
We have to be the mouthpiece.
That's right.
Of our people. So wherever you go and you see something that's not right, speak, man. Don't worry.
That's right.
And as watchmen, you need to be watching and speaking. You can't be a watchman and you're not telling the people about what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
And also around you, because it's a bit weird. I'll give you an example. You see a sister wearing trousers. And you're gonna tell her, sister, why are you wearing trousers? But your woman wears trousers.
That's right.
You're gonna have to fix that.
That's right.
Or any other example, like, if the woman is not in the truth, that's different. Because we got a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? But if your woman claims to be in the truth, bro, you're gonna have to put the pressure on her and let her know that I'm not gonna come here and then be speaking about, and then you do the exact thing that I'm speaking against. You're being wicked.
That's exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But let's carry on, man. Read that one now.
Yes, so this is the book of Matthew, chapter 2, starting at verse 12.
And that's the same thing. But it happened to Yahweh Shai, man. Alright? It happened to our king.
That's right.
It happened to our king, man.
Hamalak, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai.
That's right. It happened to him.
And being warned of God, Yahweh, in a dream, that they should not return to Herod, the Edomite,
Right.
they departed into their own country,
Right.
another way. Verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord, which would be the messenger of Yahweh,
Right.
the angel of Yahweh, appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise. It appeared that would be Kwam.
Right.
Arise and take the young child
Right.
and his mother and flee into Egypt.
Right, so they wanted to put a battle again on Yahweh Shai. And they was
right.
killing. They were killing actually babies that were his age.
Yeah, they were 300.
All right, they were having no. See, Herod didn't take no chance.
The same spirit they
You know what I'm
got. They got
saying?
the same spirit.
Yeah.
And take the young child and his mother, flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod, the Edomite demonite,
Yeah.
will seek the young child
Right.
to destroy him.
And that's what they're doing right now. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what they're doing right now, man.
Yeah.
They want to destroy us. All right? Yeah, bring it up.
Drop this one up.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 41.
Yeah.
And it reads, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherein his father blessed
And
him.
that's a good thing, because if you look at one of the tribes in Israel, the Puerto Rican, the Joseph, the Ephraimite. What was the particular? How do you say that? No. What was the particular? What the particular? Like, what made them different?
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
father death? No. Among the tribe, the Ephraimite, they were very. The woman was they were giving a lot of
They
children.
were very fruitful.
They were fruitful.
That's what the word means.
Right.
Aquarium. It means fruits, fruitful.
Right,
That's what it means.
right. Because back in time, riches was measured by how many children you had.
That's right.
Because if you had 10 children, you had like 7 boys, your business will be prosperous, because
right.
they will help you at some point do the work, the field
That's
work.
right. That's right.
If you had like cows, if you had like a sheep, they will help
That's
your
right.
business
That's
be
right.
very prosperous, productive.
And you know,
All right?
don't Enoch,
Yeah.
over the woman.
How you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so-
Edom prefers the male child and over the female.
Right, but
So
no,
they
what
know
I'm saying is like, the reason why they go after against our blessing, which are the children, because from children
That's right,
come what?
that's right.
Come a nation.
That's right.
And you don't know who's coming, because you don't know who's coming out of the nation. It could be, amongst 5 brothers, we could have the president. We could have a general. We could have a provider. We could have a boss. You could have a woman that is so good at taking care of children and educating them for them to become what they're supposed to be.
You can have a healer.
You can have a healer. You can have a
warrior.
spiritual brother. You can have even the prophets.
That's right. That's
So
right.
that precept is very good. Read that again now.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27,
Yeah.
verse 41. And it reads, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherein his father
The
blessed him.
blessing wherein, so that as well is one of the blessings of Jacob, was that it was going to be fruitful and overpower God. Not fruitful, but strong. Strong. All right? And that's the reason why even the vaccine is to weaken us.
That's why they always try to kill us off.
Yeah, bring it on.
Try to kill us off.
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand.
right.
Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
You can see that now. This is why they keep pushing these abortion and all them things in our communities. They're saying free abortions. Like, that's that same Mark Saga spirit, you know, that same Esau spirit where it says, I will slay my brother.
That's right.
And also in Obadiah as well. I don't know if you should read it.
Right, so this is the book of Amos, chapter 1 and verse 11. And it reads, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh,
That's right.
for 3 transgressions of Edom,
That's right.
and a worm,
Right.
and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment
No turning away the punishment.
Batiam,
Right.
thereof, or Agiam too,
That's right.
thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword.
And this abortion thing, that's another form of the sword that is pursuing us with. Yeah? That's another form of the sword. The sword is what? An instrument to kill. That's one way the sword is used. Most I use it for judgment as well. That's another way the Most High use it to judge our people through Esau. But our people need to be speaking up against these things. And like the brother was saying, the elders, ancient of our people, like, they're gone.
Can you bring that precept about the remembrance? I want to say something about that. But when you see these type of things, you have to remember, you know, you've got a task. When you see that, because they don't sleep. One thing about Esau, wherever you come here every Saturday and Saturday, he will come next Saturday again to show you that he's relentless.
Jake's forgotten.
So you have to bring it up. You can find it, read it, and about finish it.
Not really, but
All right, finish it and then.
Amos 1 and 11 says, Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgression of Edom, and for 4, I would not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword.
Right, so he did because the Most High gave him the sword. And the sword, like the brother say, it's not just like the sword that you see or some gun. It's a weapon of mass destruction. You know what I'm saying? It could be the machination. Okay, it could be anything. Anything, the abortion, the poison that they're putting in our foods, in the water, the education, all right? The religion, all right? All of that.
That's a serious sword.
The brainwashing.
Religion is a very sharp sword.
All right?
This says,
All right.
And did,
Well, you're more than welcome.
says, and did cast up all pity. So you're there thinking that Esau flipping loves you. Said that he casts up all pity. He says, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So this is why we're still seeing all these things happening today. And we need to be speaking out against these things, man. Yeah?
Brother, I said, I'm not, we don't have to, we don't have to,